Hi, I'm Robert Chard, and I'll be presenting on the Fire Festival. So, back in early 2014, Billy McFarland creates a company known as Magnesis, a black wealthy card for wealthy millennials. Um, then in 2015, he meets rapper Ja Rule after numerous attempts, and they develop a close relationship over hip hop and flying planes. In early 2016, Billy creates Fire Media, an app used to book artists such as Drake, bridging the gap between an everyday person and a celebrity. So, on a 2016 trip to the Bahamas with Ja Rule, they find an island known as Norman's Cay, which was once owned by Pablo Escobar, which became the ideal site for the festival. December 2016, models begin to arrive and shooting the advertisement for the Fire Festival, and including the video, which is one of the most greatest videos ever for promotional. January 2017, workers of Fire Media begin to question if this festival will actually happen, as the planning has yet to begin and the Fire Festival is 4 months away. March 2017, a Twitter account named FireProd begins to point out details of the festival being a hoax, such as using a parking lot on the Sandals Beach Resort next door. Not ideal. April 2nd, 2017. A Wall Street Journal article comes out saying the bands are not paid for, such as Blink-182, and as well as the other ones. A few weeks later, the day before the festival, on March 27th, Blink-182 decides to pull out of the festival, and everybody who's beginning to get there realizes Blink-182 just pulled out, and everything is starting to fall apart, and they pull up, and they see tents, FEMA tents, and mattresses still in bags. Not ideal as well. Nothing they promised. The following day, Fire announces the postponement of the festival, and in May of 2017, Ja Rule and Billy McFarland are banned from Life for the Bahamas. July 2017, Billy starts a new company called New York City VIP Access to start selling more tickets. In 2018, Billy McFarland is arrested and sent to prison for 6 years. Some of the key organizations within the Fire Festival was Billy McFarland himself, Ja Rule, Jerry Media, who organized all the promotional stuff and on Instagram, Andy King, the event planner, Grant Marjolin, the marketing coordinator, and Fire Media. Some of the key publics were the attendees themselves, who spent thousands of dollars for tickets, Mary Ann and Elvis Roll, who were one of the key stakeholders, and Mary Ann Roll actually spent $50,000 of her own money feeding these Bahamian workers every day. And they're just the Bahamian workers are another group of publics that was severely hurt and were never paid for. The relationship with the publics. This was one of the worst communication plans ever. There was borderline zero communication between the Fire Media and the attendees. Attendees would often ask questions over social media, such as what was happening, and no answer. Questions that dealt with the Fire Festival were often deleted, such as on Instagram, you have a question under the comments section, deleted. So somebody was always on the Instagram page, just delete comments. Workers were mistreated after the festival, and they were not paid ever. According to the Netflix documentary, one person was asked, the person asked Billy McFarland, when's my money coming? When's the money coming? He said, it's coming, it's coming, it's coming. Don't worry. So, again, lied. So, in-depth SWOT analysis, the strengths. There was extremely good target knowledge of the target audience. Billy knew exactly who was going after wealthy millennials and wanted to create money. They had plenty of it. Strong promotional skill. One of the best promotions ever, using models and whatnot. They had a great sense. Large connection of influencers and famous people. They used athletes, actors, actresses, and Instagram models. They knew exactly who they had to use and they had them post the same exact photo, so they already caught the eye. So some of the weaknesses: the lack of preparation. They used 4 months to prepare. Not ideal. Lack of throwing experience in the staff. Pretty much Billy never threw a party in his life. Just hired other people to do it for him. Had no idea what he was doing. Lack of budget. Billy said Fire Media was once worth $90 million. It was actually worth less than $1 million. Lack of transparency, like I said, nobody knew what was going on. Questions that were asked weren't answered. And the potential to have such a successful music festival. Of course, in this opportunity, you had a ton of room for a good time, and potential to promote Fire Media, which could have been a pretty cool app. The threats. Negative views of stakeholders. People were often made fun of for this for years to come, and skewed attendees to in resources ratio. There was not food, there was no places to sleep, and it was just a free-for-all. Problematic location, like I said, fake sand, parking lot, not ideal. The response. So the Fire team pretty much takes full responsibility for the actions that transpired, and they kind of made that up. They offer guest discounts and VIP packages for upcoming festivals hosted by Fire. there would never ever be another Fire Festival thing ever again. They claim that the attendees will receive a full refund, and also nobody was ever paid back. Millions and millions worth of dollars gone. They used the one word in their press release, due to circumstances out of our control. Everything was in their control. Billy never issued a statement publicly. They just had Grant pretty much issue press releases that just made 0 sense. Billy just packed up also, left. Nobody heard from him again. Some of the communication tactics. So face-to-face communication. When at the festival, one man went up to Billy, said, "Where do I go if I have a villa?" Billy responded and said, "Go to the tents." Everybody went to the tents. Became a complete free-for-all. Organizational media tactics. They did offer press releases. They weren't effective. They just pretty much BS'd everything. They said they would send updates through email and social media. Did not do that either. News media tactics. Never once before this there's any media tactics. Never apologized on the media after. Except following the festival, the thing was Fire Festival was constantly in the news, and people were just making fun of it. However, the advertising and promotional media tactics, super effective. Using an orange tile that was promoted by athletes, actresses, and models can get anybody's attention. The use of models, jets in the Bahamas, and you can grab anybody's attention with that. So they did a great job in advertising and promoting this event. So some of the effective communication tactics, the timing. This timing was not actually ideal at all. They issued a statement to the public the following day, and while they should have addressed it that night, where the situation was just blowing up over social media over a picture of a cheese sandwich. They could have been faster about this, and Billy, of course, was gone. Nobody heard from him. The use of language throughout this process was super effective. Using the slogan, "A private island in the Exuma was once owned by Pablo Escobar," you'll get a lot of people that way. But in the end, due to circumstances out of our control, the physical infrastructure was not in place, and we were unable to fill in a vision that was safe and enjoyable for our guests. That was just complete BS, and one of the workers who saw that comment said to Billy, "Don't make this comment. You're lying to your public again. Don't do that." Sent it anyway. They still went with it. So some of the ethical issues that were present. Honesty. Billy was never honest with anybody he came in contact with about this. It would take about 4 years. People would tell him to plan out. Did not listen. And overall, that's what happened, and was not. Even Bahamian said it's not possible. Experienced event planners, not possible. No honesty between Billy. Loyalty. There was none loyalty whatsoever. And this Billy fired people who disagreed with him and only hired people who agreed with him. Billy and Ja Rule's relationship was another thing that nobody understood. Billy and Ja Rule's relationship, poor. Ja Rule turned his back on him after and said, "I had nothing to do with this. Not my responsibility. It's Billy's." The disclosure of information. The publics had no clue what was going on throughout this entire process. Did they actually want to scam people, or did they want to actually put on a festival? Nobody knew. They didn't disclose any information to anybody. Nobody had any idea what was going on. The conflict of interest, internal parties between Fire Media and Billy, they constantly went head to head. Even event planners went head to head with Billy. Everybody had a different conflict of interest, and pretty much everybody attacked Billy from the ground up. So some pretty much my 3 takeaways from this. Be careful what you see on the internet, please. You never know, you're going to get scammed. Many millennials paid thousands of dollars for this event, and if it's too good to be true, according to the documentary, it most likely is. Don't believe it. Watch for scammers on the internet. Organization and planning. These 2 basically pretty much ruined the festival. There was no organization, no planning, 4 months ahead of a iconic festival that could have happened. Just nothing. Could have happened 4 years later. Nothing. No money, no planning. This is what happens when you don't have good organization. Make the things right with your publics. Marianne Roll still facing the consequences after being $50,000 in debt. So you screwed her up big time. The Bahamians themselves, they still have yet to become paid for, and it's just a shame for them to watch them suffer and after all the hard work they put in. Millions of dollars worth of lawsuits nowadays, and everybody wants their money back, and it's just really not a good situation for anybody. And Billy McFarland is rotting in prison right now for the past few years, and overall the situation is not good. And to this day, many are still facing the consequences of the Fire Festival, and will go down as one of the worst public relations disasters of all time.